Tonight on Connecticut's news station, the heat continues, but will it cool down for the weekend? We have a breakdown of the forecast.
200 vendors and tens of thousands of people expected to come right here to New London's waterfront over the weekend for SailFest 2023. I'm Julia LeBlanc, and coming up, we'll give you a look of what the whole thing's all about.
Expensive energy rates. A new study ranks Connecticut as having the second highest costs in the country. Officials now working to lower the burden on your wallet.
You could call it Extreme Makeover North End Edition, a project to help transform the neighborhood in Hartford. I'm Jim Altman. That story ahead on the Fox 61 News.
Pickleball pandemonium. One empty mall right here in Connecticut getting on board with the popular trend.
Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us here on the News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Jen Bernstein. We are officially in a heat wave. 3 days of temperatures above 90. We'll do it.
Let's send it right over to meteorologist Rachel Frank for what we can expect for the weekend. Rach?
I don't think we quite get to 90 degrees tomorrow, but it'll be close. Still very warm and humid heading into your Saturday. I think Saturday is going to be the pick of the weekend. Sunday, a lot more clouds. And by Sunday night, there could be some very heavy rainfall. 85 right now in Hartford, 81 the current temperature in the New Haven area. But if you factor in all the moisture in the air, and there's a lot of humidity, it makes it feel a bit hotter than the actual numbers that I just posted, with a heat index in the 80s to near 90 degrees. The coolest temperatures right now are in southeastern Connecticut, where some low clouds and some fog have developed. And we're going to see this fog bank really expand to include more of Connecticut as we head through the evening tonight. Temperatures tonight will be not dropping very far. We're in the mid-70s as we're heading towards the news at 11. It's kind of hard to cool off your home, right, when you have these warm and humid nights, and overnight lows will be close to 70 degrees as we head towards daybreak tomorrow. Tomorrow, a cloudy start to the day, but give it some time. I think we break for sunshine, turning partly cloudy and warm with highs in the mid to upper 80s as we head through the afternoon. There is a chance for a scattered kind of hit or miss shower or thunderstorm. Best chance would be for areas north and west of the Hartford area as we head through the afternoon. But keep your outdoor plans. Again, these will be garden variety, and we're not expecting anything too bad out there. We're going to talk about that heavy rain, though, to finish the weekend. Full forecast coming up.
All right, Rach. So the extreme heat won't last to the weekend, but hundreds are getting the weekend started early at the beach. Fox 61's Samaya Hernandez at Hammonasset State Beach with a look at how residents are staying cool.
If you're looking to escape the heat, this is where you want to be. There's a steady breeze. It is nearing 80 degrees, not 90. And this is not one of those days where many people are complaining about the water being too cold. If you're looking to escape heat and humidity Friday, it's at the beach.
I playing with my mermaids and dogs and baby doll.
Dolls floating and buried in sand, mimicking actions of hundreds of families from across the state that flocked to the shoreline to beat the heat.
I like to play in the sand a lot.
Friday marking the third day of extreme weather protocol in the state of Connecticut. Wednesday and Thursday, children like Carter, who live inland, were forced to cool down in less exciting ways.
Go inside in my room.
Friday, sand was the name of the game.
Because I like to bury myself.
And sand cakes.
Because it's my grandma's birthday soon.
It's so hot.
You wanted it and then it got too hot.
Oh, it's just too hot. You forget, like, I think all year long, you forget how hot it can really get. And then when it comes, it's like, oh.
If you can't make it to a body of water, libraries, senior centers, and churches have been serving as cooling centers in cities like Waterbury and Hartford since Wednesday.
The days have been horrible. I have a pet snake, so I need to keep my room pretty warm, so I'm like always sweating. I go in the water and it's cold though.
Campers wrapping up a week of weather extremes, from downpours to heat.
Staying in the shade, going to the beach, going in the water.
It's been cool enough to get a good night's sleep, so that's important.
On the other side of this state park, the campsite is completely full right now. People who've been coming here for 3 generations tell me that every year it gets harder and harder to find a site, also pointing out that this is the place to be this week. At Hammonasset State Beach, I'm Samaya Hernandez, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
It is the place to be, Samaya. Thank you. And a reminder here that while the state's extreme hot weather protocol is in effect, cooling centers are open all across Connecticut for people who need to get out of the heat. And to find the cooling center closest to you, just call 211 or visit 211.org.
Well, Pleasure Beach in Bridgeport will be back open tomorrow. This after the beach was closed on June 30th after tick concerns. Officials say multiple tick applications have been done on the beach in order to assure safety. The applications will continue once every 3 weeks, and the Parks Department will continue mowing and with beach maintenance throughout the season. And with these hot temperatures, many people are blasting their ACs, and a new study is finding that Connecticut has the 4th most expensive energy costs in the country.
And for electricity specifically, we have the 2nd highest costs. Residents here pay a monthly electric bill of $171 on average, and Alabama is the only state paying more for their electricity than Connecticut.
Fox 61 political reporter Emma Wolfhorst talked with energy experts and state lawmakers. She joins us now in studio. Emma.
Jen, Brent, both parties telling me the state is trying to reduce energy costs for customers, from electric companies to the state capitol. But while lawmakers say they're making some progress, some believe Connecticut still has a long way to go.
It gets very expensive, and it certainly got very expensive over the last year.
It's no surprise energy bills in Connecticut are sky high.
We have known for a long time that Connecticut has among the highest electricity costs in the entire country.
But a new study shows Connecticut has the 4th most expensive energy costs in the U.S.
I try not to use the air conditioner unless it's very humid.
Sometimes I leave the window open because you tend to lower the cost.
The good news for residents, new standard service rates kicked in July 1st, cutting customers' bills by upward of $56 a month.
There is less demand for natural gas, which is what's mainly used to generate electricity in our region.
But Ratliff says bills might not reflect this yet. With a hot summer already in full swing, energy experts say people are just using more power.
In Connecticut, customers use about 35% more electricity during the summer months. And the reason for that is we're using air conditioners, fans, these appliances, really working overtime to help keep things cool inside.
Keeping things cool, a top priority for state legislators this past session.
We are kind of at the end of the so-called pipeline. We're in the northeastern part of the country, but the state government does bear some responsibility for the high costs.
Fazio says the legislature's Energy Committee was able to work together and pass some bipartisan measures. But Fazio adds while these long-term solutions are important, the state needs to focus on short-term relief, too.
This is going to be a difficult problem, but it needs to be a top priority of the state government.
And in the meantime, to keep these costs down, you can set your air conditioner a few degrees warmer, make sure air vents are clear of any obstructions, and keep blinds or curtains closed when it's really hot out like today to prevent that unwanted heat from getting in. Connecticut customers can also shop around for lower energy rates. For more information on that, you can check out our website at fox61.com. Jen, Brent.
All right. Thank you. New Haven police still searching for 2 suspects who shot someone on a train platform at Union Station. And new tonight, police releasing these photos of the 2 suspects they're looking to identify. Police say the 2 got into a fight with the 34-year-old victim Wednesday night, leading to that shooting. The victim remains in critical condition tonight. Anyone who recognizes the suspects or has any information should call police. And we have an update tonight. We now know the name of the motorcyclist who was killed in a crash in Rocky Hill. Police say Lloyd Montague of Windsor was driving on Route 3, also known as Cromwell Avenue, when he collided with a car that was coming out of a parking lot. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. The driver stayed on scene and is cooperating with police.
Well, a man was arrested in Meriden for allegedly lighting fire to the city's Veterans Monument. Police say Victor Walsh was seen at the Meriden Veterans Memorial Monument on Broad Street, using a cardboard sign to fan fire toward one of those monuments. He also allegedly placed a plastic hubcap and a book on that monument and lit them on fire. He was released on bond and is due in court at a later date.
A teen was killed in a crash on Route 44 in Salisbury last night. Police say a car lost control and hit a utility pole. The passenger of that car, Jason Tatunik, was taken to the hospital where he later died. The driver was treated for minor injuries and the crash remains under investigation.
Wallingford police arrested a man during a traffic stop after finding a stolen gun and narcotics in his car. Police pulled over Deshaun Eric Pena early this morning because he was driving with no headlights on. At first, he failed to give police his name, but officers later learned that he had an active warrant out in Bridgeport. Police say they found cocaine along with a stolen pistol inside of Pena's car. An oil delivery truck driver was arrested for driving under the influence. Police saying Joshua Blanchette's blood alcohol content was 6 times over the legal limit for commercial vehicles. The legal limit for those drivers is 0.04. Police say the tanker was carrying more than 2,000 gallons of fuel. Blanchette was released on $10,000 bond and is due in court later this month.
Over the past 4 years, 5,600 people in our state have been hurt because they were hit by a car. 254 people died as a result. Now traffic safety advocates are standing with Senator Richard Blumenthal in support of a Road to Zero resolution, calling for more data collection and investments in road safety. Advocates gathered at one of the deadliest intersections in the capital city this morning, that being Broad Street and Farmington Avenue, to tout $2.5 million coming to Connecticut cities and towns to make roads safer. It's part of a new Safe Streets and Roads program.
To improve roads, provide the kind of walkways and sidewalks and lanes that can be used by people who walk or bicycle.
Our vehicles in Connecticut and across the nation have gotten larger.
Senator Blumenthal says there will be more money for Connecticut roads within the same grant program next year. And former Connecticut Governor Lowell Weiker Jr. will be laid to rest on Monday. A funeral and memorial service will be held at 10:30 a.m. at St. Barnabas Church in Greenwich. It'll be followed by a burial at Putnam Cemetery. Weiker died on June 29th at the age of 92 after a short illness, according to his family. For more on his life and legacy, head to our website, fox61.com, and download the Fox 61 app.